Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a morning chat where I'm going to tell you what's on my mind this morning time. And this is pre-recorded. This is definitely pre-recorded because I want to see if I can post this on different platforms, and certain platforms, to be honest with you, from what I'm experiencing, they kind of suppress if you have a watermark of a specific social media on it. So I just want this one to be just a pre-recorded. So I was up this morning, a little later than normal because this is a Saturday morning, and I have been watching. There's some people that has been putting out on different social media platforms that that Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us" song isn't bumping on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that that's just the West Coast thing. And I want to say, I'm in Arizona now. I guess this would be considered West Coast, even though it's not on the coast. It's in the desert, like Nevada. And I absolutely love "They Not Like Us." Now, I don't go to the club, but I'm 52 years old. I'm done with my clubbing days. But I don't see how. I don't understand. It's like, and a lot of them, I don't understand. Well, let me finish my statement. I don't understand why not. It's definitely a West Coast sound. It's something that the West Coast can be proud of. But this is my opinion about a couple of people posting on social media that is not bumping on the East Coast. That is not bumping in New York. It's not bumping in Jersey and Philly and Atlanta or in the South. You know what I'm saying? And I want to call them out for basically you full of it, because well, no, let me not say that full of it. I think that they are projecting from that old school East Coast, West Coast beef between Tupac and Biggie from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Which is definitely a media contrived beef. Okay? It was definitely a media contrived. Okay, I am sure of it. And we, the everyday people, the fans of these two artists, Big and Tupac, kind of got caught up in all the minutia of it all. And I feel like it's just a little, it's like they still have PTSD from then. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, it's trash, because this one guy I saw on a specific social media platform, who was saying that it's trash and the East Coast ain't really bumping it like that, and it's a misconception that's on media that it's bumping everywhere, but that's really West Coast. Now, two things can be true, and I'm starting to hate hearing that phrase, two things can be true, but the phrase is very true. Okay, and the factor of it may be, I can see it being a West Coast pride type of thing, because the song They Not Like Us is so West Coast. Okay, it couldn't be more West Coast than if Dr. Dre was the producer on it. You know what I'm saying? I've heard, I don't know for a fact because I didn't do the research, but I've heard that DJ Mustard, the producer of Not Like Us, is from LA, but the sound that he used was specifically like Bay Area sound for the song. And if I'm correct, Kendrick is from like South Central, the Bay Area. And please forgive me, Bay Area people. Look, I'm learning. You know, I am not originally from the West Coast. I don't live completely like in Cali, so I really don't know. What I do know of the Bay, of the real Bay, outside of San Francisco Bay, you know, because everybody thinks that don't live there. I've learned from comedians that I watch on YouTube, specifically Keon Poley, who grew up in the Bay, that some, you know, they get they get ignored. Like, you know, the Bay is not just San Francisco. To the world, it is. But the Bay includes, I think, please don't be offended of my ignorance. Includes, I believe, South Central, definitely, oh God, I'm forgetting. Please forgive me. I keep, South Central keeps coming up in my head. Okay, but there's more than just San Francisco. I'm just saying. Okay, where is D Smoke from? Because he's from the Bay too, as well. But please forgive me, because I'm not trying to be ignorant on these streets, but I am. Okay, it just is. But I do understand it is more than that. To the East Coast people that still have PTSD from, or suffering from, that whole was remembering Tupac and Biggie, and for those dumbass media people, be it you social media journalists and or old-fashioned journalists like on the news and stuff, that is comparing this to the Tupac and Biggie beef and making it an East Coast, West Coast things. Let me educate you on a little something on it, okay? And let me just educate you. Tupac is originally from the East Coast. He was born in Harlem, New York. That's where he was born. Then they moved to Baltimore. Okay. He went to Cali for several reasons. One, pursue his acting career. Two, to get out of Baltimore. Okay, to find success. You know what I'm saying? In all sense and purposes, Tupac was a Drake. Okay, he went to school for acting, not hip hop. Okay, he just happened to be a multi-talented young man. Okay, he found his way to LA. He hooked up with a sick crew called the Digital Underground. You know what I'm saying? He started out being like what, not a road manager, but like he kind of like helped out with the bags. He was just kind of like, he was just there. But he had talent. He could put words together. I mean, that's what Geminis do. Okay? You talking about rapping. Okay, I believe every Gemini can rap. Every single one of them. Because they got the gift of gab. Okay? They could tell a story. Okay? Um, and then, you know what I'm saying? He came out with them, and then he went into his true love, acting, and did hella well. Okay, was doing real good for himself. You know what I'm saying? Had some songs out there. Brenda Had a Baby. Had everybody sitting back thinking about, damn, this is the way it is in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Prolific in what he had to say, because he is a son of a Black Panther. And I'm not talking about T'Challa, okay? I'm not talking about T'Challa. I'm talking about Black Panther Party. They were a party, not a gang, like the narrative that the powers that be want to make them in these United States as a gang. They were a party that took care of their people and believed and protected them at all costs. Okay, they kind of was like a break off of Malcolm X and the Fruit of Islam type of situation. They just wasn't as strict. They was the one who started free lunch and breakfasts for the kids in the community. Okay, the schools, that wasn't something that the school system provided. FYI, little note, the reason why all of our children have to go to school is because when we got free, that in-between time, they called the Reconstruction, it was Black politicians that mandated that children had to go to school and ordained these public schools. Anyway, going back to the whole Tupac. So he started out in the East Coast. He was born in the East Coast. Okay. He ended up coming over here and making success on the West Coast. Okay. He stayed coming over to the East Coast until that incident at the studio where he got, pum down. He got wet up by a East Coast person that's named after a French-speaking island. Okay? You know who I'm talking about. And he was the one who did that. But Tupac, having time after going to jail for something that the person named after a French-speaking island that's connected to a very, well, at least the DR, let's just say, a very popular place that a lot of rappers talk about going to, the DR. You know what I'm saying? It's on that same island. I'm just saying. Was the one who was the reason why he ended up going to jail and taking the blame. So while he's in there, he's like, how Biggie the king of New York, and he didn't know this shit happened. Okay? I don't believe that Tupac believed that Biggie caused it, like he was the one who did it, as opposed to that he had, if you're the king of New York, you know who did it. And you did not come and try to make right. You didn't try to say, hey, bro, I didn't ordain this. I don't know what's happened, but I'm going to find out. Which at the time, Tupac had no idea that Biggie was wanted to come and talk to him about it. Because, I'm sure he heard how he felt like Biggie had something to do with it, or he had control over it. Like he could have stopped it if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And then did not come to him to rectify it and let him know I have nothing to do with it, and I'm going to find out who did it and make this right. But he wanted to. But his boy, all up in the videos, the record owner who wanted to be the artist, but he didn't want to be screwed like he was screwing his artist, told him not to do it. To let it go, not say nothing. Maybe, had he done that, there would not be any type of beef going on. And they would not have left any room for Suge to come in and take advantage of this misconception. Mind you, Suge would have never done anything for Pop had not your boy Snoop to the Dizog had not suggested going to get Pac out of jail. Okay? To revamp his record company, Death Row. That was a great business move. And Suge Knight was good for, I don't know, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar is the greatest hater, but the greatest hater at that time was Suge Knight against Diddy. He couldn't stand Puff Daddy. He couldn't stand him. He was the anti-Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to be in your videos. He just wanted to bankroll them, make you popular, and control you from behind the scenes. He wasn't trying to be in front of the cameras. And he probably hated him. And I know Suge might see this is what it is. Don't send your boys for me. I'm just a middle class raised suburban girl who is 52 years old and have seen this play out. Suge couldn't stand Diddy, from what I gathered. Probably because of probably the same reason why Kendrick don't like Drake. If you know what I mean. Now, hindsight 2020, all this stuff coming out about Diddy. Hindsight 2020 might be the reason why he did not like Diddy. Because Diddy wanted to be a bad boy. That's why he named his label what it was. He wanted to be that thug. But he didn't want to be seen as that thug. Okay? Suge was truly a thug. Okay? Diddy was more like a pimp. Suge is a real thug. He's real. Like, he's about that life. Okay? I believe he's pulled a trigger or two. That's where he is now. You understand what I'm saying? He's the real thing. Diddy was faking that shit. And putting other people up, real thugs, to do his dirty work. Just like a Scorpio. Sagittarius do that shit too. But I'm just saying. No, but I will tell you, Sag will pull the trigger. But I'm just saying. Just like a Scorpio. He was faking. Probably the same reason why Kendrick can't stand Drake is the same reason why Suge didn't like Kendrick. Didn't like Diddy. He thought he was phony. He was a fake. He was a fraud. Okay. And he wanted to antagonize that mother lover like nobody's business. Where he left some people in the dust, he picked them right back up and embraced them. And that's exactly what he did with Tupac. He took an East Coast rapper. Okay, an East Coast born, Harlem of all places, born rapper. Embraced him. Treated him better. And said, they the reason why you where you at. When in actuality, it wasn't Biggie. And it wasn't East Coast. We didn't hate Tupac. I love Tupac just as much as everybody else. But the West Coast embraced them. And the narrative is that we failed them on the East Coast. And that wasn't the truth. That was the narrative that Suge That's the narrative that the media did. That's why I said it's a media thing. Suge did great business by the guidance of none other than Snoop Dogg. Interesting that he wasn't at the Kendrick. Everybody's pointing that out. Everybody is pointing out the fact that he wasn't there, the game wasn't there. But you know who also is West Coast, maybe not gang related, but West Coast that wasn't there, that I didn't see. Now, I didn't see the whole concert, but I'm pretty sure if he was there and performed, we'd know. Where was Ice Cube? Nobody said anything about Ice Cube. You know he's from the West Coast too. He dropped a huge diss record against his previous group, NWA. No Vaseline. Remember that? Maybe because Dre was going to be there, he saw like, maybe I shouldn't be there. But if Kendrick could have brought together Dre and Ice Cube, even though I don't think they really have any beef, because I think Dre found out later after Cube left what it was, but I don't know. I have no idea, but that's interesting. That would have been a Scorpio and a Gemini working together again. Another side note, notice that this was not really, there was a lot more deeper things that we could have gotten out of this beef with Kendrick. Notice that he always mentioned another Gemini. Prince, Tupac, everybody he mentioned in his rhymes that he compared himself to was another major Gemini. Okay. Maybe he tried to get Ice Cube first, because Ice Cube is a Gemini as well, and he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So he got Dre, who is a Scorpio. I'm just saying. I don't know, that's a little bit more. Okay, so I'm starting to sweat. I might have to do a part 2 to this video. And I probably won't be able to put the whole thing on Instagram. I don't know what the deal is. But the whole thing will be on YouTube. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.